Hello and welcome. This video will discuss complete design of Waffle slab using Protastructure, after which we will produce a detailed drawing just like this. We are going to be using the design data given to us to carry out this design successfully. We teach, we train, we design for client, and as well we construct. Let us get started. So we are going to be using this project for the design of the rib and waffle slab, as well as the detailed drawings of the slabs successfully. I want to be navigating to the 3D view of this project. So this is how the project looks, but we are going to be considering the rib slab at the first floor. So we will be generating additional floor, okay, and then we create the waffle slab successfully before we go into the loadings and as well as analysis and design with detailed drawings. Okay, but before we get started, we will look at the design informations. So we have design informations here. Okay, so we have the relevant building codes, okay, that we are going to be considering, which I will actually take us there. So you look at the code successfully, and then design stress, the concrete grade, the rib sections. Okay, these sections is very important to us. We are going to be actually following these sections given to us right here. Okay, and then you see we have the dead load, the finishes, the partitions, the imposed load as well, the bearing capacity. All right, so although we are not designing the foundation of their structure, because we are considering the rib and the waffle slab design successfully. All right, so let us make progress so we can start from the first floor successfully. All right, so over here we will be navigating to the plan view of the structure. So we get to these provisions and then take it to plan view. All right, so you can see the primary beam sections. Okay, 225 by 450 is what we are going to be considering as our primary beam section successfully. Okay, so now to start from the rib slab, we will navigate to the modeling tab right here. Okay, and then we click on the rib slab these options right here. Okay, so at this point we are having the DRW to be 100 and the edge, which is the depth of the rib slab itself, is 320 millimeters. Okay, so let's check back what we actually have in that design informations. So what we have in the design information are the rib sections. You can see it here. Okay, BW is 100 millimeters, and then we have edge as 300 millimeters. We have edge of slab. This is called concrete topping. Okay, we have that to be 50, and then the X block is 400, which is the spacing between the rib beams. Okay, so we incorporate all of this. Now let's get back to the model. Okay, so over here we have here to be 100. This provision is 300, and then here the edge slab according to the design information is 50 right here, and then this is 400 millimeters. Okay, so now we navigate to the load provisions. Okay, over here we will have the additional dead load. If you navigate to the design informations right there, you will notice that we are having a dead load for finishes and partitions. So this two gives us actually 2.7. Okay, but this have to be calculated automatically. All right, based on the sections of the ribs. All right, so we didn't need this rib slab weight. Okay, so we get back so we can impute in these provisions 2.7. all right, so we have an imposed load. Actually what we have there is imposed loads of 1.5 because it is a residential structure. You can see the intended use of the structure right here. Okay, so over here we right click and then we can use any of the 1.5. okay, for residential commercial area with limited use successfully. We pick the options. All right, so we can click on updates to make sure all of that is updated. Okay, So the self weight, you are not seeing it here, is supposed to be based on this section for it. You may not necessarily see it in this provision, but it's being calculated successfully. So here we have the instructions where we rotate the rib angles and we take us through, and then you understand this shortly. Okay, so we proceed to start placing the ribs. You can see over here, this is the beam region insertion method we are going to be considering. So I come over to this panel, I click to have my ribs just like this. If I continue to click right in these panels, I will have my rib being placed just like this. For this, okay, I want my ribs directions to be the shorter direction, so I can't place the rib here, except I will go and change the angle. So if I place this now just like this, I will have to come over to the instructions provisions. I will change this angle to 90 degrees. If I click on the update, you see it has rotated the rib slab successfully in these directions. Okay, so I will continue to place here. I place it here and here. I continue in these smaller panels of my slab. This provision is the stair room. I wouldn't need any slab here, so I'll click here and I will rotate this as well. So I turn this rib angle provisions to 0, just like this. I update and pick in these provisions just like this. So this is how you actually insert your rib slab, okay, based on the settings that we have right here, and as well as the loading options right here. You can see the self weight have actually been updated, as I said earlier, that once you start to place it, the self weight will be updated successfully. So we have 3.32 kilonewton per square meter as the self weight. Okay, so now we are done with this. We close this dialog. All right, so now we want to be generating this story so we can start to place the waffle slab. But before we proceed, I will have to pause. I will ask you to please like this video and subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel. All right, let us make progress. I will come to this provision, and then I have to minimize this axis, and then I will come to I have stories options, right click, and then I want to insert more stories. Okay, I'm working on 3,150 millimeters story height right here. So I will have two story because I've already having one existing right there. Okay, so we click on the OK options right here. So you see this, and the previous process will not be undone after this step. You click on the yes options to have the next story created just like this. All right, should you have any questions, you just have to drop in the comment sections, and then there's a link for you to join our group chat, okay, where you can ask questions, answer questions, and then we solve problems, okay, based on designs, okay, as civil engineering works. We proceed. Okay, so I will navigate to the populated story. This is the populated story, and then I will get to the story again. I want to be generating these stories to the one we just created. So I use these options, and then I select the source story, and then the target story is this story 2 we just created. You can see. All right, then I will have to uncheck all of this because I will need this. Okay, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't even need slab, I don't even need slab because I want to be using waffle slab in the next story. So I have to get rid of this. What I just need is the columns and the primary beam successfully. I click on the OK options. So that has been created successfully. I close these options. I will come to the story 2, right click and click on the 3D so you can see the 3D patterns of this structure successfully. We'll start to place uh, a waffle slab now in the next story. Okay, so now I will navigate to the plan view of the story 2 that we just created, just like this. To apply it or to insert or model waffle slab, you have to navigate to the rib slab icon right here, and then over to where you have type, select in this provision and use grid ledge. Okay, use grid ledge using the same sections. Okay, we will also maintain the same loading right here, so we just have to key in what we have here is 2.7, okay, and then here is 1.5, okay, kilonewton per square meters, just like this. Okay, click on update, and then we continue to place the Waffle slab, so you can see the differences between these. We are going to be carrying out the analysis and design and produce detailed drawing for these two type of reinforced concrete slabs successfully using this program Protastructure version 2024 right here. So you should know the type of versions or the type of 2024 version you are using. Okay, some of it doesn't carry out analysis on this type of slab. All right, so we make progress and we click on the close we have done extracting this. So for instance, you want to maybe apply an additional load on this slab. Let's say because we want to use this floor for a kind of equipment that will be carrying out some tasks for us, so we need the equipment load to apply elsewhere in this provision, okay, where my cursor is. What you do is you just have to navigate to the you can come to loading, and then you see over here we have point, line, and area load. You can use this option. If you click here, you see we have a kind of an area load in this provision. So if you get the magnitude of that load, is the load a dead load, which is the first options, okay, which is the G load magnitude. All right, the load uh, a live load, which is the Q load magnitude. All right, so you can actually identify it here. For instance, if I'm having 20 kilonewton, or if I'm having, let's say, 5 kilonewton per square meters of area load of such machine, I want to apply it here. Just pick a point right here, and then uh, move your hand in the diagonal directions in order to cover the area, okay, of that machine. Click right there, so you see what is happening here. Additional slab load cannot be applied to rib or waffle slab. Load will be discarded. Please reverse the instructions of this load. Okay, so you can now see this is what I want to actually show to you. So if you have any additional load applied to this rib slab or waffle slab, what you need to do is that you have to close these provisions, select this particular slab, right click, and then come to properties. So in this property, come to loads. Okay, if that load you're supposed to apply as a dead load, apply it through these provisions. Okay, let's say we are applying a 5 kilonewton load in this panel. So what you do, 5 kilonewton plus 2.7 will give you 5.7 kilonewton. So after which you click on update. All right, so that is being applied, okay, separately to this particular panel where we are having that machine successfully. All right, so you can see how that is being applied successfully. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section. All right, I will close this provision now. So if we navigate to the 3D right now, you can see that we will have something of this kind. Okay, we need another level. That level is going to be our roof level. Okay, so for our roof level, what we do, we come to the stories and right click, and then you can click on the insert stories. This time around it just to be 3, and then click on the okay options and yes options. So this has created a story above. As you can see, we will navigate the gray lines to the populated story, okay, and after which we select in these provisions and then get to generate stories options. We are going to be targeting story 3 right here. All right, then we wouldn't need all of this rib. We don't need it. We have only need primary beams and as well as the reinforced concrete columns. We don't need all of these slab openings and the rest of that. So click on the OK option. So this has generated successfully. I click on the close options. Okay, this is what we are now having. All right. So for my roof beam, we are not actually designing the beams. We are focusing on the we are going to be focusing on the slab and as well as the waffle slab design. Okay, so we may not pay attention on the roof beam. I wanted to actually reduce the sections of our roof beam. Okay, but we may progress. We'll be applying some loads on the beam. Okay, we call that wall load. Okay, on this beam you have to build your block wall. Okay, so that load is what we're going to be applying right now. Select one of the beams right here, right click, and then you can click on edit loads. Okay, so if you click in that provisions, what you will have right there is this. Okay, Navigate to this wall load provisions, and then you can have the wall unit weight. Okay, wall unit weight for 9 inches block is about 2.4 thereabout, but with the application of plastering and finishing, she now give you something like 4.7, 4.47 something of this kind. Okay, so this is what you have as your wall unit weight. You can click in these provisions to actually see it. If you have a window, you can use this opening to actually open a window, but I design for the worst condition always. Okay, so I normally design it just the way it is without opening, because if you remove an area here, it means you have reduced the load that is coming on this beam. So I most of the time design for the worst condition. I click on the OK options to have it placed successfully, so you can see that this is not actually showing. Right click on that and then click on the edit story right there. That was not applied because I did not update it. Okay, so we click and get back here again, 3.47. all right, this is it. The height of the wall will be using 3 meters. It was 3 150s, but we have some beam depth, so I'm trying to get that. So I have to click on this to have this applied. Okay, so now I click on it. If I come to the 3D cube, this is what I have. I click on OK, it will be applied now, just like this. So I want to be distributing this load all over the beams right in this story. So I will select on it, and then I come to copy loads. Okay, or you can use Ctrl C on the keyboard. I click on the OK options. I come to this provision, select the first beam, scroll down, you select the last beam right there, right click, and then you can now paste the copied load just like this. You can see. So we move the grid lines to the next floor right here. I will minimize this story 2, and then I'll select one of the beams. I can do Ctrl V right here to actually paste that on that beam successfully, so you can be able to select as well all of the beams over here, and then do Ctrl V to paste the loads right here, just like this. Okay, so you see we have loaded this structure successfully. What we will do, if we are to design the roof beam, we will now start to have some beams in these provisions, but by then you have to scroll down to story 3, move the grid line to story 3, and then you can as well navigate to the 3D, to the plan view of this 3D, view this member, right click, and then click on the property and pick from this point and all the way to this point. Okay, right click. Okay, get rid of that. All right, so having done that, we can get to the 3D. Now, the purpose of Raft slab and Waffle slab is because it is being used when you required a very large area of panels, okay, of slab panels. So when your panel is quite large, it is advisable to use these two type of slab, okay, and it is quite very economical as compared to a solid slab successfully. Okay, like your panel area is about 40 square meters, 50 square meters thereabout, you can actually use this type of slab system, which is the Raft slab or the Waffle slab successfully. Okay, so now we are done with this. We want to start the analysis and design of this slab successfully. Okay, so we save this project first, after which we navigate to the analysis tab, and then you click on the building analysis right there. So we will carry out the global static analysis first, so we use these options to do that. Okay, so over here we wouldn't design any member. Okay, we will do that later. I will click on building analysis because I wanted the analysis to be faster, so I wouldn't want to carry out design successfully, but I will do design after analysis. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can actually drop it in the comment sections, and then do not forget to join our group chat, okay, which the link is in the description of this video. If you have not yet liked and subscribed to this channel, Suffering, kindly do so right now. Okay, click on the like button, and then as you subscribe so you can get alerted each time we post a video right here. We are still waiting for our analysis to be completed, which building analysis completed successfully. Okay, we are waiting for the final message. So the latest story drift have actually satisfied the limit in both directions successfully. Click on the OK option, and then you have this. Okay, so click on the close options. Now we have designed this successfully. The next thing we will need to do now is to carry out the FE analysis. Okay, so in designing roof slab, you must carry out both global statics and FE within finite element analysis successfully. Okay, so now we come to the FE floor. Mind you, it is not FE foundations. Okay, we are going to be using FE floor, so pay attention now, okay, at this point, so you will not make any mistake in designing this. I click on the FE floor options, and over here you don't have to change anything here, just leave everything at default. You can change the plate, but this doesn't really affect roof slab or waffle slab. Okay, this actually affected when you are designing a solid slab. All right, so I can include the upper story columns. Okay, I can also include the sections in FE model, but we didn't need all of that. Okay, but I will select this option, so I will have all the stories selected because I want the design to be carried out from story 3 up to story 1. So after which I click on the floor mesh and analysis. So we wait for this floor mesh and analysis to be completed. So this at the topmost floor, I click on OK options. It's going to run it for the next floor. Okay, so let's see, this is the next floor. You click on the OK options, so it's going to run it on the story 1 now. Okay, click on the OK options. So this is completed. You can see over here, analysis completed successfully. So over here, look at what we are having. Okay, we have green check, meaning analysis is actually completed successfully. All right, not all of the version of Protastructure that does this, so you should know the one you get. All right, so you can be able to be flexible and work effectively. I'll click on the close options because we are done with the analysis and design. Okay, I click on the close option right there. So this is close. All right, at this point we want to start to design uh, the uh, the waffle slab and as well as the roof slab using the slab strips. So we'll be drawing slab strips right away. I will navigate to the story 1 plan view right here. Okay, now here we go. I will go straight away to the modeling tab. Over here I see slab strips, click it right there. Now the slab strips, we are going to be considering FE analysis, so you use the options and then analysis result source. Okay, for this design of the RIP and as well as Waffle is going to be FE floor analysis option. So after having that check, I will use these two options, bob, which is outside. I want to be drawing a strips using these options of span strips. Okay, so you have to check here and make sure the direction you are going is also selected. The first direction I'll be going is X, so I choose X here. I pick the first point, I come all the way to these provisions, I hold down the control key on the keyboard to have a straight line and I click. So I have my strips here. Your strip should be drawn in the directions of the rib. Okay, you can see that my strip follow the direction of the rib. So I'll be having another strip here, and then you need only one strip for this. Okay, you need only one strip for this. All right, so over here I will have another strips just like this. So this one is going to go in vertical direction, so I will change my direction from these provisions, and then I click in these provisions. I hold my control key and I click here. I hold my control key and I click here. I hold my control key and I click in these provisions. Okay, why are we drawing only one strip? Because rib slab is a one-way. Okay, it is a one-way slab. So yeah, we're having slab here, you're having slab here, so I will just use these options. This is ending inside the slab. Okay, so we are supposed to use the start and end condition. This press these two conditions, so I pick outside and I end it inside the slab. That is how the condition works. It is the same condition we are supposed to use this to these other provisions. Okay, so let's proceed. I will go the control key right here to have this. Okay, so we are going to be updating this one. So I can select this, right click and then click on the properties, and then I use this. Okay, and then click on the update. So that is how you update. So in the same way I've updated all of these successfully. Let's go to the next floor so we can be able to draw our slab strip for the waffle. Waffle is always a two-way slab, so you have the strip drawn in both X and Y directions. Okay, so we click in this provision and then we come to the X directions. We pick from this point. All right, so we use these options out to out, okay, which is bob to bob, and then we will hold the control key on the keyboard and click right there to have the strips being drawn just like this. Okay, then we go to the Y direction. Sorry, let's do that in this other X direction provisions, just like this. Click. All right, then we go to the Y directions. We do our strips just like this. Good. We also do the strips just like this. So we want to do a strip over this panels successfully in the Y directions just like this. This shows that we are designing this in two ways, okay, and not one way. So we have another one right here, just like this. We have another one like right here. All right, so over here we should have it in the direction Y. Okay, make sure you hold the control key. I want to start it outside and end it inside this. Okay, we have to draw it across here, so outside, end it inside the slab. So I will pick this point, starting point is this, I'll end it here. Okay, so I start outside from here and I'll end it inside the slab just like this. Good. All right, so we are done with this. The next thing we'll be doing is designing of this rib and waffle slab successfully. So we go to the design tab, this tab, you see this option, rib slab analysis. Click in these provisions, choose all of the stories from all rib slides. Okay, click design. So you can see we have 22 of rib lines we are going to be designing. Okay, so it is actually running. You have to be patient for it to complete preparing report successfully. Okay, so you can see how fast the Protastructure and how flexible Protastructure 2024 is. So you can see the rib slab analysis result. Okay, based on the strip X1, strip X2 that we have drawn successfully. All of this. Okay, so we close this. Okay, now we are done with the analysis. We can now proceed to rib beams. Okay, this rib beam, this is where we are going to be actually designing for the reinforcement, okay, of this rib beams. So click in this provision. Right, you can see all of that. We have about 18 ribs lines. None is designed. Use this beam design bash mode. So use this, we select all bars options and then click on the calculate. Well, let's give it some time to actually carry out the design, which is successful. You can see process completed. I click on the close. All of this has passed design, as you can see. All right, so let us look at the reinforcement itself. Select the first provision and click on the interactive design. So you see what we're having. Okay, so I click on the OK options, and then you can now see I'm having the space issues. Okay, space issue is what I'm having. All right, click on the OK options. Well, there are things that I did not actually show you, but I want to show you all those stuff now that we're having this result actually. Okay, we have not actually made changes to the materials. Okay, so I close this where we have to get back to the building setup. Save this project first. Okay, then come to material over here. So you see the material we are using. If I select in these provisions and then we navigate to the building design informations, the material they asked us to use is actually you can see C25 and then 460 right here. So if I get back to this provision, I can be able to choose my material from here. We're asked to use C25 right here. I'll apply it to all and click on the OK. Then for the links, we are to use 250, which is correct, and then for the steel grade we use 460, which is already correct right here. So this is how you select material. Another thing you need to select right here is you can come through the steel grade provisions and come to where you have rebar diameter, so you can be able to edit this successfully in these provisions. So now we are basically depending on the rib slabs. So you can see the ribs right here. We can use 10, 12, and 16 for our ribs. So we can get rid of all of this. Okay. So all of this may be selected for columns and beams, okay, but that is not our concern for now. We are actually concerned about the ribs, okay. So you can see we have choose this for the ribs slab successfully. I click on the OK options right here, and I click on OK. So we have actually reset the materials, okay. We save it from these provisions successfully. Then the next thing we will set is to go and look at the rib informations. Come to edit right here. In the edit, you can see where you have the code. You can see BS8110 is the code that was given to us, okay, which we use successfully in the design information provision. So if you check here, you can see BS8110, okay, and BS5399, okay. All of that is being incorporated successfully in this design, so you can see there. So now come to beam provisions, come to design and parameters, and then go to rib options. So you can now see that now, very important, you have to take note of these minimum numbers of angle. You can see I'm having it 0 here. Sometimes if you have it 0, you'll be having difficult designing. So you can say minimum is 2 right here for your rib. Okay, it's very, very important. This changes. And then this is the top bar spacing and the rest of that. Okay, I brought this in because I want you to understand why you're having space issues. And we'll get rid of that shortly. Okay, just leave it at default. Do not touch anything in these provisions. Click on the OK. Only make changes here. Okay. So over here, maximum beam steel bar diameters should be 16. So you have to make sure that you change the minimum and maximum beam steel bars successfully. Okay. For links, we have arrow 8 and then arrow 16. Okay. So we click on the OK options right here. Although arrow 16 is actually high, okay, but that is what we have as maximum in these provisions. But the program will select the right one after the analysis and design, okay, of the strips. I click on the OK options right now, and now I will save this project. All right, having saved this project, now I go over to modeling and I click on the I go to design, I click on the rib slab analysis. So I will analyze and design all of the stories, both the waffle slab and as well as the. So you can see over here that the analysis is done successfully. So let's click on close options from here, and then we closed it from this provision. We navigate to the rib beams, and then we will proceed to beam design batch mode, and then we use reselect all bars, click on calculate. Okay, so we wait for this to complete. In some seconds, you can see it completed. Click on the OK option, and then you can see if you double click on this, now you see we are still having the same issue, but click on the OK, you see the beams are being designed, the reinforcement is being generated successfully. But another thing you need to look at is this issue of you see bar do not fit in the cross section. How do we rectify this kind of problem? Okay, so we click on the OK options, and then we have to close this and then close this. I want to rectify that problem, that issue now. So we rectify that by increasing the section of the uh, of the primary of the secondary beams, which are the rib beams. Okay, so I will navigate to where I have the rib slab options right here. You can see the rib beams. I select the first one. I hold the control key, or sorry, the shift key, select the last one to have all of these selected at once, just like this. Right click and then click on its properties. Then over here, I have the width, okay, to be 100 millimeters. Selecting this position and click on edit. This will nullify analysis, yes, options. And then I will increase this just a bit to 120. Okay, instead of 100, I click on the OK options, and this will be changed successfully. I click on closed right here. Then I will get back to story one where I have the rib slab. Okay, I will expand in this provision, select the first one. Hold the shift key, select the last one, right click, and then click on the properties. Then select in these provisions. All of these have also been changed successfully. Sorry, this is still Storey 2. I want to navigate to Storey 1 right here. Click expand that. Select the first one, hold the shift key on the keyboard, right click, and properties. Select in this provision, click on column edit wise 120 right here. Click on the OK option. All of that has changed. Click on closed. Okay, so this is design. Okay, in design we try sections. Okay, so you have to make sure you try sections to have your structural element past design successfully. So we have done that successfully. We click on the save options right away. When we proceed to design, again come to design tab, click on the Raft slab analysis again, or stories, and then click on design. Okay, so sorry, just close this, close this, close this, just close it from here. Okay, it's going to show you for all the ribs lines successfully. So just close this. The reason is because we are supposed to carry out the global static analysis. Come to these provisions and click in these provisions, and then come to analysis. All right, within analysis right here, give it some time. It's going to run, and then we are not designing for now. Video analysis options. Okay, so we give it just some time to actually run, because we have changed the sections of the beams, so we have to reanalyze again. Okay, so after this global static analysis is done successfully, we go into finite element analysis, and then we carry out that before we can start to design based on the strips. Okay, this is fine. Click on the OK options, and then we close this for now. Come to the FE flow analysis. We select all of that. Okay, and then we proceed to floor mesh and analysis. So this is going to run for the first, which is the Storey 3. OK options is going to run for the second, which is the Storey 2, where we have the Waffle slab. After we click on the OK option, this will now run for the Storey 1, where we have the rib slab successfully. After we click on the OK options, and then the analysis is completed. Click on the OK. From here, then we proceed into design. Right here, click here, rib slab analysis, select all Storey, carry out the design successfully in just some seconds. Okay, preparing the report. So here is the report. All right, so everything is good. Just close this so we can proceed. Close this option as well. Get to read beams. These options, select here. You have all the beam. Carry out the bash mode by reselecting all bars. Click on calculate. All right, so the calculation is completed. Click on closed to have the ribs design. Now let's check if it will actually show us again that bar not fit to section. If I double click on this, you can see everything has passed. You can see the spacing between the bars, both bottom and top, are now okay. Everything is now fine. You can see our rib beams is being designed successfully, and then we don't have any warning, we don't have any error. So this design is done. Okay, so this is the bend up bars. Okay, so this is not a problem. Click on the OK options, and then after which, let's look at the drawings of this rib beams successfully. We closed from here, and then we navigate to drawings and report. If you click in these provisions, you can see where you should have rib beams elevations. This one, rib beams elevations. You click in these provisions. So let's look at just the first floor elevations. You click in this provision. So this is going to load for some time, and then be able to provide the elevations for us. So over here, if you zoom closer, you see what we are having. We are having one reinforcement top, and then one reinforcement bottom, that is in the tension and compression zone successfully. And then we have another one tab, which is the reinforcement for the concrete topic. You can now see how the reinforcement is being arranged. But all of this, you can make changes if you wish. I will show you how you can make changes to this successfully. How do you make changes? Maybe you want the bottom bar to be 2 of this reinforcement, okay, and then the top bar, okay, which is the compression zone uh, to be 1. It all depends on what you want to design. So let's see how we do that. Come to these provisions, you have to close this process, this tab right here, and then we get back to design and then come to the rib beams. So for instance, I selecting these provisions, I will have this. So you can see what I'm having here. We're having one T10 and then one T10, both compression and tension zone. So I can decide to change this to 2. All right, so having this as 2, you can see I'm having a reinforcement issue with the spacing. Okay, so this is not an issue, but you can still increase these sections to 150 instead of 120. All right, and then be able to produce your drawing successfully. So this is how you can be able to work effectively with this reinforcement selected successfully for your reef slab and as well as Waffle slab successfully. So having changed all of these successfully, click on the OK options, and that the same thing will be done successfully for all of these beams. Okay, so after which you can now close this tab, okay, and save this project. All right, so having saved this project, we have successfully carried out the modeling, loading analysis, and design of rib and waffle slab successfully. And then we have seen the drawings of this rib and waffle slab successfully and how we can actually resolve the issue of bars not fitting into sections. We have resolved that successfully, which I said, if you want to still have enough space, you can increase the width of these ribs from 120 to 150 millimeters successfully. Okay, so at this point, we will now have to see how we can move all of these drawings, okay, to Prota detail. If you come to where you have drawings and report, I see Prota detail here. So do not forget to like and subscribe, okay? Subscribe to this channel and then stay connected as we continue to bring a very useful content of this kind to you, so you can be alerted once we upload on our YouTube channel. Stay connected, and also you can join our group chat through the link in the description of this video. Have a great day and bye for now.